Good morning, students. Let us start with the properties of peptide bond and biologically important peptides. Properties of peptide bonds. Usually, the peptide bonds are covalent bonds which are very strong in nature, which cannot be broken by means of just by heating it up or by adding more salt concentration. So, it is difficult to break, and this kind of bond are inflexible. It will be little rigid and planar bonds. And this bond has partial double bond characteristic. And of course, this bond occurs in trans conformation. So this peptide bond contains incomplete positive charge as well as a fractional negative charge. So that contributes for the partial double bond and partial polarized bond in nature. So this kind of peptide bond will be existing in the biological peptides, especially the peptides which are involved in the general biological conformation. Of course, all the proteins are made up of peptide bond. And here, let us discuss about some of the biologically important peptides. So we'll start with vasopressin. Vasopressin regulates the amount of water which is present in the fluid around the cell, that is extracellular fluid. It performs this function by causing the kidneys to absorb water. Also in high quantities, vasopressin function as vasoconstrictor, which means that it causes the blood vessels to narrow, and as a result, the blood pressure raises. So that is the most important function of vasopressin, which is to regulate the water balance as well as to regulate the blood pressure. The second biologically active peptide is oxytocin, and oxytocin, which is produced by the pituitary gland, and it is made up of 9 amino acids. These 9 amino acids are made up of peptide linkage. It causes the uterus to contract during childbirth. Additionally, it plays an important role in the milk ejection reflex during breastfeeding. Of course, often it is known as social hormone because it is liberated when people snuggle up together or bond socially. The next biological peptide is angiotensin. Angiotensin is again a hormone which is involved in renin-angiotensin system. These peptides are responsible for regulating the blood pressure. Also, they spur the discharge of aldosterone from the cortex to enhance sodium retention by the kidney. Thereby, the water molecule retention also will be favored as the sodium retention happens. The next biologically important peptide is defensin. And defensin are activated peptides in the immune system, and it is known to be antimicrobial in nature, and this exerts or converts the immune response. These defensins are well known for wound healing process. Hepcidin, and hepcidin is a peptide hormone, of course, which is controlling the iron absorption rate in the human body. And this measures the levels of anemia, and based on this measure, the level or the degree of anemia can be diagnosed. If it is very less, and of course anemia is very severe, and based on the percentage contribution of hepcidin, the anemia condition is diagnosed. Let us now go through in general about vitamin coenzymes and its metal ions. And vitamins are classified under micronutrients since it is required in very small quantity, but its function is very important in nature. And these vitamins will act as cofactors and coenzymes for maximum number of enzymes which are involved in the metabolic pathway. Now let us see about the general vitamins and its biological function. First is thiamine. It is also called as B1. It's a component of coenzyme and carbohydrate metabolism and supports the normal nerve function. Riboflavin, which is called as B2, component of coenzymes required for energy production and lipid, vitamin, mineral, and drug metabolism, and it also acts as antioxidant. Niacin, which is also called as nicotinic acid or nicotinamide, it's a component of coenzymes used broadly in cellular metabolism. Oxidation of fuel molecules and fatty acids and steroid synthesis. Vitamin B6, it is also called as pyridoxine, pyridoxal, pyridoxamine, which is component of coenzymes and metabolism of amino acids and other nitrogen-containing compounds. It is used in the synthesis of hemoglobin, neurotransmitters, and also used for the regulation of blood glucose level. The next is folic acid. It is also called as folate, folacin, and it is component of coenzymes in DNA synthesis, metabolism of amino acids, which is required for cell division and also for the maturation of red blood cells. Vitamin B12, which is called as cyanocobalamin, which is very important cofactor in the metabolism of amino acid and fatty acids, record for new cell synthesis, normal blood formation, and neurological function. Pantothenic acid, it's a component of coenzyme A, and it is essential for carbohydrate, protein, and fat metabolism, and it is cofactor for elongation of fatty acid. Biotin, it is also called as vitamin BH, cofactor for carbohydrate, fatty acid, and amino acid metabolism. Vitamin C, it is also called as ascorbic acid, and it is acting as antioxidant, and it is used in the synthesis of collagen, carnitine, amino acid, hormones, and it exerts immune function, and it also enhances the absorption of non-heme iron, especially from the food source. So let us discuss about the fat-soluble vitamin in the next class.